being a Gnostic in the modern age, well, in the ancient past, you would have needed the right contacts. You would have had to have been friends with someone that knew the inner circles of Gnostic schools of thought. You would have also had to be somewhat educated to be in the pursuit of esoteric knowledge. You would have also had to have had similar ideologies, theologies, and philosophies to be considered to be a member of these Gnostic schools of thought. Now today, we have esoteric knowledge at the tip of our fingers through our phones, our computers, and even books. Where back in the day, for owning these books or being in the pursuit of esoteric knowledge could have got you killed. Now, Gnosticism is very practical to one's life. It's very beneficial as it's being like Christ yourself. So it's your own personal path. It's a spiritual path, your own personal relationship with the divine, your own personal relationship with yourself. So practicing unconditional love. So love for yourself and love for others. Now, this also involves meditation, reading the esoteric texts, but enact them into your life. So promoting the self-discovery. So giving rise to the knowledge within yourself. Gnosis, spiritual knowledge. Being in the pursuit of it. Now, unfortunately, there's not much here to do with Gnosticism in Australia. Thus, the reason I do what I do, to bring more Gnostics to Australia, but also to the rest of the world, as Gnosticism is very useful and practical to society. Now, there's no course in university here in South Australia for Gnosticism, though there is one in Sydney. Though we do have courses that you can join a Gnostic movement and do this for a couple of years, and then be given the right to teach Gnosticism representing this movement. Now, I'm my own person. I'm a Gnostic teacher in my own right. In the days of old, I would have been considered a prophet. I would have been considered a bishop or even a Gnostic theologian, maybe even a Gnostic teacher, depending on the type of Gnosticism. Now, I did do a course. I finished half of it, though I left because I knew much more than what the people who were teaching it did, and I want to represent myself. Now, the reason I say this is because they were reading this. This is the Gnostic Gospels. This has nothing to do with Gnosticism. This is a work of fiction. They've guessed the missing words that have fallen apart, and they've added sentences in there that were never there to begin with. I recommend Bartley Ehrman's Lost Scriptures. They're the best translation for Gnostic texts and other ancient Christianite groups. Also get yourself the Nag Hammadi library. You can also check out Gnostic.org, but I don't always agree with some of their translations. There are better ones out there. You can also use Sacred Scriptures, which is a free website, and you can find many, many ancient texts on there for free. This website is used at Oxford University. I highly recommend any translations that are used at Oxford University. So at least then you know they're backed by scholars. Now, I showed this to this Gnostic course that I was going to. So their teachers there were baffled. They didn't know this. They're like, wow. And the teacher there has come up to me and said, the reason you're so intelligent with Gnosis is because this is all part of your past life. It's coming back to you. Now, I personally agree with this, yes. But I also studied. I studied for years before I did what I do now. Now, I also studied every type of Gnosticism. I also read every type of Christian scripture, not just the one. I examine all the multiple different groups and also multiple different types of religious theologies and scriptures around the world, as Gnostics were the first ominist. They read everything. Now, they would read other ancient scriptures of religious works, spiritual works, esoteric works, in order to discover the mysteries within them. Now, simply knowing about Gnosticism and reading it doesn't mean you're a Gnostic. You have to practice it in your life. It's a spiritual path, your own personal relationship with self, your own personal relationship with the divine, to be like Christ yourself, to recognize your divine spark within you, within all life, to practice unconditional love. It's okay to dislike someone, but you love the soul regardless. So we're all one, connected to the cosmic mind of God, the monad. Now, one thing I want to point out with this book, it's printed by Watkins. Not a very good company. Now, this company is also owned by another Christian company, which is HarperCollins. Now, they have made the Satanic Bible. They've also removed 250 sentences out of the Bible. They've also printed the Gnostic Gospels, the Gnostic Bible. They're not a good company. They have mixed agendas. They're only out for money. That's it. They're not out to give people knowledge. No, they're out for money. So this is why I recommend other text, or more authentic text. So I encourage you to practice this theology, this philosophy, as Gnosticism is a very, very useful tool for oneself. It changed my life around. I haven't looked back. And honestly, I've never been happier. So peace and love, everyone. I love you all. Connect to one mind and soul. Namaste.